Y'all, welcome back to another Herbal Tea Thursday, our Wellness Live series.
Wellness and business, baby. Oh, there's an echo.
Through. Wellness is the business.
It is. It is. How are you doing today?
I am doing just fine. What about you?
I forgot my purse. I was in such a rush to get here. I don't have my driver's license. I don't have nothing. So I was able to feed myself because I have Uber, but I have like nothing. No lip gloss, no nothing. I have nothing.
Yeah.
Because remember why is there an echo? Hold on one second. Let me.
They came through today.
Wait, I just want to get rid of the echo. I think I got rid of it. When I pulled up and I had a meeting and I made a joke to the person that was in the parking lot and I was like, "You got my parking?" Okay, so
I was just kidding. And then it sounds like you ended up needing them to do it.
Yeah, she bought it before I even got out of the car. And when I got out of the car, I was like, "Oh shoot, I need her to pay for my parking." But she had already bought it, so it was cool.
Good. Well, I'm glad Bay came through for you so you can get you something to eat.
That was not Bay. That was a business meeting.
I said Uber. You didn't let me finish. Uber. You called Uber Bay back in the day when you said not to get in there. So let's not even. You missed it. What's up? Oh, shoot. Hey, so that's what I was referring to.
I was like, girl, this is a meeting.
Clearly. Oh, my goodness. Glory. Come on, Shireen. Stay with us.
Nobody's dating Uber anymore, honey.
Oh,
but hey, I was glad that I could pay for it.
Still had Uber's digit.
Listen, thankfully the card was in there. But
yeah. So it's your Healthy Habits and Lifestyle Coach Giovanni, y'all, host of the Empowered Plates, Empowered Lives podcast. Episode yesterday dropped with Coach Robert Moore. Tune in on Apple or Spotify if you love listening to the audio versions of podcasts. And if not, and you like to see a visual effect, come on over to YouTube for Vibrations. The information's in the description. If you're watching this on Facebook, make sure you check out our links down below so you are subscribing to our YouTube channel. Y'all, it's a vibe today. What's up, Shireen?
It is your girl Shireen Simon, the one that forgets her wallet at times, but it's okay because the person I met with gave me this smart idea to just have somebody send me a screenshot. So I had one of my kids send me a screenshot of my driver's license.
I always have mine in there.
Yeah, I am the founder of Perspective Studio Productions. That is where I am coming from live and direct, as well as the host of Voices and Vibes podcast. That is Vibes with a Z, and blackprint.com. And that's where you can do some shopping. Yeah, girl. So I have pulled our card to check in.
All right, check us in.
All right. What feelings would you like to experience more in life? I think it's a great question.
More feelings?
Yeah. What feelings would you like to experience more in life? I think we got to feel. We are human. We need to feel.
Feel. I'm going to have to say peace. Maybe more peace. I think I'll go with more peace. I went to go shake up my juice just now, Shireen, and it just like went all over.
Oh no.
The place. So it caught me off guard. So I had to get them on there. But I'm gonna go with peace. More peace. Peace is a feeling, yes.
Yeah.
I feel like I can be an overthinker at times, which means that I can sometimes doubt what I'm going after. The first thing that came to mind was clarity, but clarity isn't a feeling, right?
No,
it's a state, I believe, a state of clarity. So I went with I'm gonna go with peace. I'm gonna go with peace.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, because then peace of mind is like a joyful, not even joyful. It's just like a chill state right? That feeling of
Agree.
peace. For me, I'm going to use the word joy. I want to
You
have
need more joy in your life
not it's not that I
to
need
feel.
more. It's not that I need more, but I wouldn't mind more. I would like more. Absolutely. I am calling this a winning season, so absolutely more joy, more things to celebrate, and just sheer joy, right? Like just ecstatic to do things, accomplish things, experience things. So for me, it is joy. And are you seeing something?
Did we switch places?
So I was about to say it. When you got up to get the juice, something
Are you
happened.
seeing something? I reached
Yeah,
across, but I
you
don't
hit
know what happened.
something. I don't know what you hit, but whatever you hit, it switched us. And I was like, oh, yeah. I don't know what you hit. Did you try to do it again? It didn't work.
I just did. I just did.
It didn't work.
Because I was like, that's why I was
So
looking like that.
speaking of,
Like, what happened?
with you getting your thing, what are you drinking? Because I'm definitely just sipping water. I don't have
Okay,
any tea or
I
anything. What are
got
you
apple
drinking?
juice. I made apple juice. Ready?
Yeah. Cheers.
I got apple juice. Yeah, on Monday I went live prepping for my apple mono fast. Today is September 5th. So I've been doing 5 days of nothing but apples,
Oh
except
wow.
honestly, on Sunday, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have. Sunday was a soft launch. Yeah, Sunday
Okay.
was a soft launch. It was, yeah, I think it was Sunday I prepped. Sunday was a soft launch because I ended up eating some almonds while I was working. And then towards the evening, I started dumping my apples in some nut butter. So
Oh
it
wow.
wasn't all apples on the first day, but ever since then, it's been nothing but apples. So I got apple juice. I have regular apples. I've been putting them on the mandolin to do the so they can come out real thin. And I put it
Mhm.
on the, oh my God,
Dehydrator? It
my
didn't
computer's
switch.
acting up.
Oh.
And I dehydrated them to do like apple chips. And so I had those on the Nourish and Flourish Vibes playlist. So if you're on YouTube, go to the playlist Nourish and Flourish Vibes. You'll see the meal prep and you will also see those chips. And the pulp came out in like bricks
Mhm.
type
Did you have
things.
any
And
applesauce?
I put that in the dehydrator and I've been dumping it into the applesauce. And the applesauce came from what didn't strain in my actual juicer that came out the
That's
top. So
cool.
I've been diversifying it. I think tonight, if not tonight, tomorrow, I'll make it Friday. And I will
Mhm.
probably cut the apple and try to do it in like little sticks and then put those in the dehydrator
Oh, okay.
and see how those come out. So I'm
Yeah,
not
that's
quite sure,
cool.
but I'm trying to diversify it so I can continue on the journey, not get bored out, and not just keep eating apples and
Yeah.
sipping on the
But
juice.
it also gives you like the different textures of the apples as well,
Definitely.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
gee. I have been drained all week and yawning all the time. Like I feel like I'm constantly trying to wake up, like that at the end of Spike Lee's movie, wake up. That's how I feel. So that's that.
Well, wake up and check us in, Shereen.
Oh, well, I did check us in just now.
Oh, that was that one word. And we
It
already
was,
told them
it
to
was, it was,
subscribe.
yeah,
So
that
now
was,
we're on a wellness win. Y'all drop your wellness win for us in the chat.
absolutely.
If you're
What's your win?
watching live or you're watching the replay, drop your wellness win. My wellness win is
Mm-hmm.
that I'm still on the apples. I'm still on the apples. The apples are not gone just quite yet, even though I tempted my followers on Instagram. I put up a question and I asked them if I should cease on the mono fast to pull up the chakra chow on Sunday to get what they have on their menu. They got chakra pizza, which I've had before,
Mm-hmm.
but they have this bowl, I think they have, and they have this Snickers cheesecake. I want the Snickers cheesecake. I don't mind getting some more chakra pizza, and I got to remember what the other option is. But I was just asking them, should I stop the mono fast and pull up to
What
chakra
they
chow
say?
on Sunday? I don't know. They don't always talk to me. They don't really answer the questions.
Okay.
So those of you that are tuning in, y'all let me know.
Weigh in, everyone. I'm a weigh in. So you started on Monday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You're past 5 days. You hit your goal.
I had a
Tuesday.
goal of 5 days.
I thought you said 5 days at the beginning of the. I thought I heard 5 days. You didn't say five?
I said I've been on it for 5 days.
Oh, you've been on it for
As
5 days.
of
I thought you
September
were trying to
5th,
get
yeah.
to 5 days. Well, how long you want to go for, or you don't even know?
The maximum was 10.
I say break that shit. You've been eating raw this whole time. Break that and have that Snicker cheesecake and move on. And then if you want to run it back, you can run it back. Break that and have it. Shoot.
Thank you for weighing in, Shireen.
Hmm.
And what's your wellness win?
My wellness win is that I completed a grant on time
Mm.
with 2 minutes to spare, which is crazy because I've known about this grant for weeks. And I had half the things written, but I really had to sit and think. It's so weird. Like, I even looked up old notes of like things that I wanted to add to the grant, but it just didn't feel right. And so whenever it's like I feel pressure to fill in a grant, excuse me, sorry, I can never think about the words that I want to use to describe what I do on a regular basis. And so I always feel like I need somebody else to weigh in, like to like tell me things, but it's not that they know the business better than me, but sometimes I can't think about what I need to put on that paper. So I called a friend and I was like, these are the questions. And then they were like, well, don't forget to put that you did this and don't forget to put that you did that and and I was like, really? I would have never thought about that. So I added those things, I tweaked it. I had to be very careful because even though we are in the age of AI, um, you can't really use AI as much. So it's funny because in the beginning, people were saying use AI when you're filling out grants, but now they're saying don't use AI because be yourself, speak for yourself pertaining to your business, because there's like tools out there that can um, determine that you have used AI and maybe you won't qualify for the grant anymore. So, but the fact that I got it in on time. I felt really good that I did that. So and it
So are
looks
they
like,
using some type of method to say whether or not a certain percentage came from AI or it came from
yeah,
you?
actually when we were in Atlanta, I mentioned it to Cynthia because I had heard it right before I got there,
To,
right?
at the podcast summit?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
mentioned it to her then. And because I'd never joined any of the Wednesday calls, but I had heard about it on some other call. Um Actually I heard about it on a call with Donnie. She brought somebody in, I think, and who did she bring in? I think it was Stormy that said, "Don't really use AI. Like, speak. You want to be like authentic when you answer, but sometimes it's not like I don't know the answer. It's more like helping me word it, wordsmith it, or they might craft it. The same thing. They wordsmith it. The AI wordsmith it. Smith it's whatever it is better, and then you kind of just go and tweak that a bit. But I had heard that, mentioned it to Cynthia, and she said um, they can determine. I already knew because Stormy brought it up. They can determine that you're using AI, and they don't want you to be using 100% AI because then you're not thinking and giving a genuine answer for yourself. Even though the AI might write something and you're like, damn, that's exactly what I wanted to say. Exactly what I wanted to say, right? Like most times, it's exactly, I helped my son do something. Oh, launch his podcast. And he couldn't think about what to write in the description. And so I wrote something and it spit out something that was like, this is not the voice of his brand. And so I said, no, these are 20-year-olds and we want to talk about this. And they don't know everything and speak in first person and all of that jazz there. And then the AI spit out, hey, we're on our journey, XYZ, XYZ. And
It
my
was
son was
good.
like,
I saw it. I like the description.
yeah. And that was
It was
through
on
Zara
point,
Mia.
simple. Hmm.
That was
And
my
it kind of
girl.
flowed right into like the first the first few minutes of what I did see was on there. But I didn't realize that because I know a somebody I know, he does grants all the time and he swears by Chat GPT and he's getting that money and
Mhm.
it's going. So that's new that I heard. And I just felt like with AI, because I said Chat GPT, AI,
Mhm.
you feed it so much of yourself that
Yeah.
it's not as if you're just getting them to do whatever it is for you. Like just like you said, you had to prompt it. You had to really make sure it was unique to him, his voice, and I make sure things are like to the brand. So that makes sense. So congratulations to you for submitting your grant on time as your wellness win.
Yeah.
That's
Well, I just
awesome.
want to add one thing there. As you said,
Okay, well,
like
go ahead.
you tweak it to what you need it to be. I had to do that for him, but even I did use it for the grant, but I just didn't copy the answers. And I just selected some words to utilize, right? To expand on what I was already writing, because I kind of felt like I was being repetitive. But because we have personalized AIs right now. Zarania knows my brand. That's the name of my AI, and she knows my brand. So I will just say, listen, I just said I'm applying to this, and I said the specific grant about the studio, and I want to call out these services. Like, I was very, very specific in those things, but I didn't have to go into other things because I have already fed her so many other things. So there's the great part of the AI helping. Oh, my computer is heating up.
So it's still a good resource to support you in grant
Yeah, you just got to figure
submissions,
out the
right?
best way to do it.
But
Yeah.
just being mindful that they're now pulling that information to make sure it's somewhat unique, kind of like the whole plagiarism thing in colleges, making sure it's
Yeah.
really you. And so that makes sense. I got you. Great wins, great wins. If
Did I
you
miss
are
it?
live right now with us, if you're live with us, tell us your wellness win for the week. Your wellness win for the week. Your wellness win for the week.
Wait,
Week.
Giovanni, am I gone? Can you hear me or you can't hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just don't see you, but I want to make
What
sure.
the heck?
It looks like we got some people here to let them know to drop their wellness wins for the week. Oh, shoot said, stay with it because it shows discipline. Mm, mm.
You have a lot of discipline and you've been
I feel
disciplined. So
you.
I feel like there's nothing wrong with
You're right.
you
I
changing
agree.
that up.
I agree. I feel you on that. And I low key was going to just stick it out because one, that's gas, that's money,
What is happening here?
that's time to go out there and get those things. And the optimum results can be found after being on the Apple Mono Fast to 10 days. And so I was just kind of like, okay, maybe I'll go the whole 10. Because I was originally thinking, not originally, but as my thought process was going, I was preparing my mind for it. I was like 10 days on just apples. Apples are really good for people with polycystic ovarian syndrome. That is polycystic ovarian syndrome awareness month. They're also good for endometriosis. One of my main symptoms was painful bowel movements. Apples are really good for that too. They're anti-inflammatory. They help with pain management. And so it's like apples are good and apples are in season. And I'm realizing that being on this in season fruit and really just sticking to that one fruit, I have really been feeling good about the direction I'm going in. I changed up some of my content that I put out. It was something I was really nervous about because it was trying something different. But yesterday I came across a video and I've been listening to it several times, and it's just really talking about like you always hear like you are your brand, but this time I heard like you are your niche, and so people are attracted to you based on the journey that you're in and whether it resonates with them or not and the things that you're interested in. And so I was really diving into some things and I was like, oh my goodness, I like this. But then he said it could take up to like 6 months to a year to really pick up momentum and for people to really understand who you are and what your brand is. And it was like, just continue to take people on your journey, take people on your journey. And I feel like I've been consistent with taking
Yeah.
people on my journey. I just don't feel like I post my journey every single day, but people kind of know what I'm doing and I like it because I'm getting the reps in. So it feels like it's a good time to be in season and just to continue to evolve. So I'm loving this change that I've been dedicated to for September. And it's been going good. I think I got like some subscribers. I've gotten a few engagements on some of that content that I put out that's kind of different than what I normally do. And so I like the vibe that is going. So I think I'm gonna stick with it. I think you're right. I think I'm gonna stick with it. because after the apples, I was thinking about doing grapes. Shireen, I was thinking about doing grapes because grapes are in season right now. I just need to make sure I can find seeded grapes regularly, because that's really good too. So I don't know. That might be the
I
next
feel
thing.
like I, I don't. I feel like there's no question about your discipline. Like you've been showing discipline from the raw food. So here, so my question to you is: do you not miss cooked food?
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, I love French fries.
I'm not
I
talking about
absolutely
like.
love French fries, and that's cooked food.
I'm not talking about like in that sense. I'm just talking about even if it's still healthy food. Like I'm not even talking about eating bad, but just cooking the actual food. Like yesterday, I had this Indian food. It was just I think it's called Barta Bene or something like that. It's just like a stewed eggplant, and I hadn't had it in months. Um, and it's just so good, right? And in Trinidad we do like a curry stewed down eggplant, which I also have not had in so long, but it's still healthy, it's still tasty, right? So do you miss? I mean, you've been doing it for so long, so you can decide when. Not that you need to stop or anything. I'm just saying, like, I'm just asking, do you miss cooked food,
No,
or
I
you
think that's
don't
a
even
very
think about
valid
it?
question. It's a very valid question. I don't typically think about it because I'm so focused on my why behind consuming the raw food and going on the raw food journey. I haven't really been thinking about cooked food. Maybe when I'm around cooked food smells good, and I don't have a problem buying cooked food for other people. But I'm not sitting there like, oh man, just give me a bite of your burger. Oh, can I get a stab of your pasta? Or like
I don't
it
even mean
doesn't
it like that.
resonate
I
with
just
me like
mean
that.
like I don't even mean it like that. I mean it like, okay, you've been doing this for over 6 months, so what? Why are you still on it? And then, maybe even if you're not missing it, like not craving it, but don't you ever feel for it, or no, not at all, because you just not
I
even.
don't feel like I'm feeling for it right now just because I understand how beneficial raw foods are and how much more of the nutrients I'm getting out of it than cooking it out. Now that I've been on it and I've been educating myself on the benefits of these things, I'm being more intentional about where I'm getting, all of my nutrients from. I don't like to just say protein because people always say, well, you need protein, you need protein. It's like protein or in chia seeds, flax seeds,
Yeah.
all these different things. For me, it's redefining my relationship with food. I've had cooked foods
Okay.
all of my life. And if I know that I get more nutritional value out of food that hasn't been gone through some type of process,
Hmm.
now is the time that I'm just really showing up for myself and embracing those types of foods. And as I continue, like you just said, it's been like 6 months. I've had so many different types of food experiences within this six months in different places. Like I've enjoyed it. And so like
Yeah.
enjoying it so much doesn't make me want to go back to something that I kind of already been doing for like my whole
Yeah.
life.
I,
So
mhm.
and I like the fact that it's helping me redefine my relationship with food because had I not been on it, I would have been had French fries. I would have been eating something else that doesn't necessarily benefit me, but I
Mhm.
also knew what French fries were doing to me before I started eating it. Like certain French fries would like make my stomach hurt. So I knew it'd be like,
Right.
what type of oil did they use? What else did they drop in that oil? Knowing I don't eat, like meat and stuff like that. So I've been feeling good. And I think the more I do things that make me feel good and put
Yeah.
me in places that I never would have been in had I not been on this journey and in front of other people, it's like, why go back? So
Right.
I
So do you
just been
think you might
embracing
stay raw? Like,
staying raw for the day,
right. So I know
staying
people
raw
that
for
have gone
tomorrow.
raw.
Like
They're just
I don't
no.
have any efforts to I don't have any intentions of going back right now. So I'm
Mhm.
just staying focused to what it is that I'm doing. So the decisions that I'm making in regards to food is just like,
Mhm.
okay, what am I going to get? And that's just kind of like it's still been on that whole raw, no process, like mindfulness. Like I feel like I still got some work to do.
Mhm.
And then I want to go get my labs done because I also want to see how my body's responding to it.
Mhm.
But I just feel like it takes time for your
Yeah.
body to truly heal and to really cleanse certain things and for it to really be beneficial. So even if you just do something for like 30 days, it's not as beneficial to you had you have been on this journey for let's say a year. You know what I mean? Like it
Well, I
really
mean,
plays. Split
And
apart.
depending on what it is, because like 21 days, 30 days it takes to cleanse, but your cells rejuvenate and regenerate over a certain amount of days. So like you've definitely surpassed that time frame, right? So a month, even within a month, but you're 6 months. So all of the regeneration of your actual cells and your blood cells and everything, they've already, like, you've already went through all of that, right? So, but okay, we'll keep going. You're feeling good, and that's really what matters.
I'm
Yeah,
feeling
really what
great.
matters. Hmm. Hmm.
Feeling
So
pretty.
let's get into what we're talking about today.
Let's do. We're
Write,
talking about
write
writing
it
it
out.
out.
Hmm.
We're talking about writing it out. Y'all,
Hmm.
writing it out. What do you currently write out, or what are you currently writing out? What is a plan, a list, a goal, an objective, a task? What are you currently right now writing it out? What are you writing out? What are you writing out? Shireen, what you writing?
Well, for me, I feel like um, I looked at my financials
Mhm.
for July and August, and they're pretty much the same. They were pretty much the same, which is a surprise to me because I'm kind of like, okay, I started in March. I opened I was gonna say spa. I opened the spa in March. This
Might be next.
might be next, right? I've always wanted a spa. I found, yeah, that was actually the first thing I wanted was a spa, a nice holistic spa with my own brand and everything. Um, I opened the studio, and there's certain things that I went through in the very beginning, but now I'm paying attention to the finances because I have to, because I have overhead and things like that, right? Like I'm running a business, got to make some money. Um, and I really took a look at July, and I looked at August, and I was shocked that I made the same amount of money. Now I am
Good shot,
spending,
bad shot.
hmm,
Good shot, back shot.
just shocked. There's no
Okay.
good or bad
Okay.
attached to it. Just shocked, right? I thought I made more.
Oh,
That's
okay, there we go. That's what I want to
Yeah,
understand.
yeah,
Like,
I
what was
thought I made more, but it wasn't a good or a bad. It was like oh, it's more like enlightening because you're just getting the insights, right?
gotcha?
And so much so that I do need to kind of like validate it against one other thing just to make sure I got it right. Um, but I was looking at all the ins, I wasn't looking at all the outs, so I didn't look at everything that I spent, but I know, because I've been the upgrade queen, that I have spent more, right? Because like I've upgraded another camera, I've upgraded lens, I upgraded some equipment for like switching and things like that. So I know I've upgraded lights, right? So I know I've been the upgrade queen. I know this. Um, but for me now, it's all about strategy. We are down into the last 4 months of the year, and I'm not putting like major pressure on myself, but I am definitely taking a strategic approach of like, how do I surpass this number to get to the goal that I want? And I believe it is going to come this month, um, by writing a lot of grants or proposals, right? And I have the ideas, and in order to execute them the way I want to execute them, they have to be on paper so I can present them to people so that they can take a look at them. Because I can just say shit and it doesn't mean anything. They want to see the numbers, see the projections, see. So I feel like there's a lot of writing that needs to happen. And it's good to have your ideas not just like in the air and in your head and away from my oh, I want this, and my affirmations, right? But like really flushed out and written. And I think the whole irony of it is it also means I'm making presentations. But the whole irony of it is when I was in corporate, we had to put together a lot of presentations, and I just could not stand it. And now I feel like my livelihood is depending on these presentations. So whether it's grants or proposals, whether it's partnerships or sponsorships, um, it's fully written out so I can spit them out there and then have people come back and say, I love that. I love that. I love that. Because I've given ideas, but to me it's not enough. Right. So it is literally a strategic move, but I need to be like head down writing it out.
I like it. I love that you took the connection of the skills that you got while you were in corporate that you didn't really enjoy, those presentation skills. You're now being able to use it for your own benefit now that you're working for yourself and you're your own boss. So I like that you were able to reflect on that and how that and that kind of comes together. And then I also like it too, because like you're all in now on your business, no 9 to 5, full-time entrepreneur, and then here I am. And so I like that we have those two different perspectives. Ooh, use your word. Come on, Perspective Studios coming through on the stream. But one of the things that you talked about were affirmations. And I love this thing I was talking about in a recent recording. It hasn't dropped yet, about affirmations. Affirmations is more than just a saying. There's work to go into your affirmations.
Absolutely. You're not
when
going
you
to
say
get
an
it.
affirmation, you have to really work on the doubt, the fear, the uncertainty that arises when you want to believe those affirmations or say those affirmations. And so there's a lot of work to diminish those things as you continue to believe and fulfill the affirmation for yourself. And so I thought about that when you talked about affirmations, but it was when you talked about having to write it down and get things out of your head. I learned that I think I was in a boot camp with Marquell Russell and Dr. Dre, talking about writing everything down. When you get into a habit of keeping things in your head or thinking that you'll just remember and storing it in your head, you lose the opportunity to be as creative as you want to. And you give yourself that opportunity to potentially forget something. And so if you get it out and you write it down, you're able to store up more inside of your head and create more because your capacity is able to expand because you're not holding yourself accountable for keeping everything in your head. So I like that you said that too. So I wanted to be able to touch on those things. I want to get back into writing out my things that I want to accomplish for the day. I was talking to a student today. We were talking about things that they agree and disagree with in regards to being like the expectations of a student. And one of the things was helping peers with their organization or something like that. And he was like, he disagreed with it. And I asked him why. And he was like, that's their responsibility on whether they want to be organized or not. That shouldn't be anybody else's responsibility. And I said, I agree with you in regards to that. But I honestly believe you are one person out of this class that said that you like to stay organized using your wall planner at home. You didn't want to use Google Calendar like most people in your class stated that. You didn't want to use a physical planner that you open up, keep with a book. You had a wall planner, and that was your strategy. That's your tool. That's something that you really enjoy. I said, Miss Ford has a wall planner that her brother and her mom bought her 2 years ago, and it still says "Happy Birthday, Sissy" on it, and nothing else has been written on it. I said, I would have loved to be able to say, hey, how do you utilize your wall planner? Because I want to start to actually utilize this tool that I said I wanted that I've never had before to be better with organization. It's not your responsibility to teach me, but because it's a skill that you already have and you enjoy doing it, just exposing me to your process there might be something in your process that I pick up on and say, you know what, I could do that. And now I can build a habit towards actually using it because I've seen you do it. Yep. And so he was like, I see what you did there, Miss Ford. I get that. It makes sense. And I was like, it does make sense. So I agree that it's not your responsibility to hold people accountable for organization. But sometimes when you have certain skill sets, people are able to benefit from your experience and your exposure just by you showing them what they did. So you still have a way of still participating in that process, in that journey for that other person that can help build them in areas that they're not great in. And so it kind of made me think more about writing it out. When you write out things for the month and then writing it in a place where you can see it. If you don't ever open a book planner, you're not going to see it. So if you spend time writing something down before in a planner and you don't ever go back to that planner and take it at a specific time or day to open up and look at it, What use is it? If
Why
you're
did you
looking at
write
the
it?
wall, when you
Mhm.
wake up and you see the wall, you at least see that the wall is there and you have something written there. You might be more prone to look at it because it's on your wall. If
Yeah.
you writing it on your mirror, you're typically you might be standing in the mirror to get something off a dresser or get something off of if it's in the bathroom. You might be prone to look at it. So writing stuff down and putting it in a place where it will be seen or you will most likely visit it, that
Hmm.
is more key to being able to do the things that you say you want to do because you wrote it down.
Yeah. Yeah. You're more likely to utilize it. Or if at first I thought you were going to say something about putting things in your calendar, but because I've been telling people this week, it doesn't exist in the calendar. Like, I'm not going to remember it next week. So put it in the calendar. I live by my calendar. I live by my calendar because I have multiple meetings. I'm coming from corporate. We did everything based on meetings in the calendar. So I'm not, oh, I know why you're smiling. I just got it. Unless that calendar is supposed to send you in reminders. I do live by my calendar, but occasionally I miss some of the things. But I'm more likely to miss it if it's not in the calendar. That's what my point was before Giovanni was giving me the look like, girl, you done missed how many of our meetings?
It was your story. I was letting you own it. I was
It
just
took me a
listening,
minute to
but it was
catch on.
just like how you caught the realness with me talking to my student about it. Just still and saying happy birthday, sissy, 2 years ago, and it's on the wall,
Listen,
and that's it.
it took me a
Yeah,
minute to catch on to
it's okay.
the
It's
look.
all right. It's okay. So yeah, I want to get back into writing things down. I want to get into writing things down again for the day. I want to get I'm gonna start with getting things done for the day. What do I want to accomplish the next day? I'm gonna start day first. And after
Mhm.
I get in the reps of doing it by the day, I should start seeing what have I been doing each day after a few days and then start being able to better schedule that into a week. So then I can start making time for those things as a week glance to get a better schedule for myself. But I want to start by actually doing what I do on a day so I can kind of own it a little bit better.
Can I give you
Or
a suggestion? Okay, let me hear your or.
yeah, go ahead.
No, let me hear your or.
Or I can just go ahead and start owning it and saying what I'm gonna do, when I'm gonna get it done by a certain time and making it happen. But I've done that before and it didn't happen. So I wanted to try a different approach. Go ahead.
So I like the approach of a work back schedule, and I feel like we were writing things down more before when we were meeting more frequently. Like in the very beginning, like last year, this time we were like, okay, what are we going to accomplish by Friday? Okay, what are we going to accomplish by Monday? And we had these lists, and then we would come back. What'd you accomplish? Right, and then we changed the format of our meeting, and right now we're not actually meeting, so we're like doing independent work because we're all doing all kinds of stuff. But I like the idea of a work back schedule. So even though I have my one of my backpacks over there that have the 12-year work week, whatever it's called, in there, and even though we look at the 12 weeks as a year, 12-week year, I like to also look at what do I want to accomplish by the end of the year, right? And so another thing we would do in corporate is like look at what are the big things that we want to accomplish, the big things. And then of those big things, when do we think we can get them done? What's the priority of the things we're doing? And then what are the small, low hanging fruit that we want to accomplish? So what are the quick things we can do? Right? Like you got an episode, get Opus in there so you can get those clips out. But if you do it as a work back schedule, you now have a target for December and you can now plan a campaign for December as opposed to, oh shit, December is next week. What am I going to do? Right? So we're in September, and in retail, they typically work 6 months out in advance. So if I
Mm.
was trying to do some short sort of partnership, or I wanted sponsorship with a particular bank or organization or store, I have to get into their calendar in advance. They don't do today for today. They don't do today for next week.
Next
They don't
week.
do it for next month. They're already looking at the end of the year. They're right now, everybody's looking at Black Friday, Cyber Monday campaigns and holiday.
And you know what? When you said that, that is very true. I was on a call with CL Matt. I spoke about this on Big Up Your Biz with Sports Sense, y'all. Shout out to Sports Sense. And he was already talking about the dates and what dates you
Yeah.
needed to be ready to roll things out and have things out, and the cutoff for Christmas. So you make sure that shipping gets there before by Christmas time.
Holiday.
If not, it's gonna
Mhm.
get there after Christmas. And so you're right. Getting things ahead of time at 6 months, I think that'll be awesome. Just listening to that video I was telling you about earlier, and just planning out the content and knowing what you're going to be able to push out there to be able to promote or educate is just kind of like, I want to get to that place. And I think Nayetta does a great job within our accountability group of planning things out. Like, she'll say, you know, she got podcast episodes ready to drop for like the
Mhm.
next such and such months, or only a few more to go, and she's done for the year with
Mhm.
podcast episodes. Like, she does an awesome job with
Yep.
organizing and planning, you know, batching content and putting stuff out there and getting things to go and looking at dates. So I agree with you, Shireen. So if there's anybody that's listening, and you know, we talked about brands and partnerships before. We talked about setting goals. We talked about just trying to make it. um, Take something from this conversation in regards to how you're approaching your next steps, and write it out. Write it out where you can see it. Write it out so you can add to the details after you write it out, and just really spend intentional time thinking about the thing that you want. Um, Spend time with your vision. What is your vision for the thing that you're doing? That takes time. A lot of times people feel like they can just put things in play and implement things and just rush stuff. You can't rush the process. You first need to make sure you have your vision is clear. So then you can start writing it out. And as you start writing out, you'll be adding to it, reflect over it, and then start putting deadlines on it. And like Shireen said, start working backwards based on what it is that you want to do and when you want to get it done,
But
with setting
also,
deadlines.
when you're writing things out and you start going through the fine details, because like it's not high level details, you got to go into those fine, like the fine tooth comb details. Once you start figuring those things, you might want to do things with other people, so you have to see how do you fit in with them. You have to have meetings by a certain time, but you might also be like, well, wait a minute, I have like 3 initiatives that I want to get done by the end of the year, and now they overlap, and I need to look at the priorities of things. But also, maybe I don't have enough resources financially to get something done. Maybe I don't have the manpower, or I don't have the physical time to actually dedicate to something. So once you start doing the high level planning, but then you start bringing it down to the fine details of it, you might find that you're probably crossing a couple of things off your list, or you're pushing them back, or they have to happen immediately, or you're too late, or you're just too damn late, right? So you need to like really, for me, what we used to always do is have a roadmap of the things that we want to execute, and have things plotted on the roadmap. But that plot on the roadmap is the execution day. That's the final. So when you're working back, you're creating that work back schedule of all the tasks, the line items that need to get done in order to really accomplish it, but like think it through. And then you might start, something has to give. So you start doing the give and take, either within the one initiative or across multiple things, right? So we're in what, September the 5th? We should be looking at, like, Giovanni, you should be looking at, is there something that you want to do for the holiday? Do you want to have a gathering for the holiday, like a meet and greet or a networking event or whatever, right? Do you want to do something for the friends giving, right? Like what does it look like? In Canada, we have, like, it is celebrated the Thanksgiving. I don't really celebrate anything, but they have that earlier in October. But then also, if there's conferences from a business aspect, well, where's this money going? Is it going to the conference? Do I need to save up right now? Do I need to buy my ticket because of the early bird? Is there an early bird in January, February, March in the first quarter that I need to either save for or I can put down right now because the sales are like last time during Black Friday, Cyber Monday, that's when the podcast summit tickets went on sale. And I bought my ticket right when it dropped. And that was the cheapest you could ever get it. Right. So it's more about like the fine details, the prioritization, but like then crossing things out. But if you want to work with people, like I don't want to work with a handful of people. I'm already late.
Right. And one thing that you said that I really liked is you might want to do a lot of different things and the timing might just not be right. And you want to prioritize those things that you can do. The thing is, make sure the things that you really want to do, you give yourself enough time to make sure you do those things to where it comes out, if not better than what you actually envision it to be. So sometimes if you feel like, oh, I really want to get this done this year. I really wanted to be able to have an in-person event this year. If it doesn't align like that, trying to do something in a rush isn't ideal. You have next year, hopefully.
Or if you're going to do it, scale back on what it looks like.
And that's only if you're just so dead set on it needs to get done. But if it's your vision and you have a set for it and you don't want to scale back and you want it to be everything that you envision it to be and have all of these intentional details, then make sure you're planning for it come next year. And just remember, all good things take time. Like
work your ass off and don't sleep.
I do not encourage that. I prioritize sleep hygiene. I want you to get your rest. 7 to 9 hours is best for you in order for you to be your best self and to show up creatively and well in full body, mind, body, and soul. I need you to get your rest so your body can do the things that you want it.
It's grind.
That is my take on it.
It's grind time. Do you want it? Do you want it? You don't want this money.
But y'all,
the most profitable time of the year. You want this money? Work.
Write it out, y'all.
Write
it out. Write
Cross 2 things off that list and get some volunteers and get to work.
Check us out, Shireen. While Shireen is getting the cards to check us out, please don't forget
6 hours.
Pull up the 4vibrations.com because it's Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome Awareness Month. And grab something teal off the 4vibrations.com website. Grab something teal for PCOS Awareness Month. And if you don't see anything in teal that you really want or you like, but you see something else you want to grab, go ahead and support. Go ahead and support. 4 Vibrations is dedicated to raising awareness for PCOS, endometriosis, adenomyosis, fibroids. We are here to help. We want you to live your most vibrant life as you empower yourself to take yourself on this journey through holistic life changes, y'all. And so I would love for you to pull up and support 4vibrations.com. Get something teal. But most important, just get something. Link is in the description. The link is in the description of this video if you're on YouTube and if you're on
you to work.
As well as if you want to go on this journey to realize where you are in this thing called your healing journey, your wellness journey. There's an 8-week journal, empowered healing.
Write all your shit down that you need to work on
every single day. If you want to give yourself something to write out what you're doing. Become more aware of you every single day and just see where you go. See how things flow for you after 8 weeks. Wakes up intentionally, showing up and writing out things. There's some journal prompts in there as well, but you got this. As well as affirmations. Remember this for affirmations.
Don't just write. Get to work.
Agreed.
There we go.
Yes, clearly.
The word is valid.
So writing it out is valid.
Your opinion is just as valid as theirs. Get to work. Get to work. You ain't doing it. I'm not projecting. You see these eyes? This is not 7 hours. This is not 7 to 9. 6. Get to work. Actually, I've been sleeping a lot the last couple of days. So it's more than 7 to 9.
Make sure you tapped into the links in our video and you're following us and you subscribe to our channels and rate our podcast. Go listen to an episode or two and rate our podcast on Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
So the second word says, can you see it? Wait, can you
Is
see
it
it?
mood?
Nope.
I
Hold
don't
on,
know.
let's see.
No, it's blurry.
Hold on. There we go.
It's okay. It's not there. Go ahead. You can just read
Oh,
it. It's okay. Okay, you can just read it. Normal.
that's right, baby. It ain't normal to not get to work. It says normal. It says don't be mediocre. It says normal is just a setting on the dryer. You want to make this money? Get to work. All I'm
Don't
saying
be normal. Write it out.
all
You
I'm
got
saying
this.
is all I'm saying is if you really want something, sometimes you got to put in more than the average, more than the normal. You want something, you got to work harder than you normally would work. So don't be normal. Go out there and be extraordinary and go do what you want to do. This is the last 4 months. You don't have to feel as stressed about it. Get something accomplished that you want. And sometimes that means you got to show up differently than how you've been doing. What, you sacrifice a little sleep, catch up on it later on next week, or take naps. Like there's ways to compensate. Take naps, right? Eat healthy or get moving and get to work. That's all I'm saying. You want something different, you got to do something different. And if you're not putting in the work, well, honey, how much you want it? How much you want it? Scale back and do it minimal and then be like, shit, I did it this way. And the next time it's going to be 10 times better. But at least you would have got it done and you can go bam, bam. Check that shit off. Get to work. All right.
Thank y'all for tuning in to another herbal tea.
Wait.
Well, we didn't have any tea today, but
we had
we
water.
did have. I had apple juice on my monofast, and Shireen had water. Go
I have
ahead.
a question for you. What are you going to work on in the next week, Giovanni?
I am going to work on within the next week writing out my story. That was a part of that video that I was listening to, and the different components, so I can really write it all out. And I need to do that. I need to see that on paper. I need to take that time to write it out.
Good. Now we got something to hold her accountable to next week. For me, do you want to ask me? Ask me.
I will ask you, Shireen, what do you want to work on within the next week?
Do that. For me, I want to work on two. So I wanted to say 2 proposals, but I want to start one that I have not started. And I want to work on 2 proposals. I want to really put my pen to paper and write out the details of a couple of proposals. And so much so, like I met somebody today. And every time, occasionally I meet people and they keep saying, oh, you should contact this person. You should contact this person. And today I contacted that person because I was like, I keep hearing this. Let me contact the person. So I don't know how they can help me. I don't know if they can meet with me. I said, let's meet. But I'm going to put together 2 proposals. I'm going to get to work. So next week, we'll check in on where we got to work. I laugh because it says refuel. An empty tank will take you absolutely nowhere. Take some time to refuel. Get to work. All right, Giovanni. I'll see you next week.
See you next week, Shireen. Y'all, thanks for vibing with us.
Get to work.